Hello, hello. Okay, let's get this expanded. Hey! Sorry I'm late. Jam a little. That'd be a good time to share the link to your friends if you want to share it. I appreciate it. Or put their name in the comment section. Start thinking about them. I'd love to answer some. That's not my jam track. I don't know why they end on the 5. They gotta end it on the 1. Anyway, hey, it's good to see everybody. I'm trying to be more consistent here. I got a lot going on, so I've just been real busy, but I wanted to jump on here and see what people are up to, say hello, all that kind of stuff. Who do we got so far here? We just got a couple of people. We got Chris. Just Chris. That's the only one. I guess nobody's got any questions for me tonight. I was going to tell you about a little bit about what I was just doing with that jam. I always look for, the chord that I'm on. So, like, one of the things I was doing was this, like, that's an A 7th chord. And then I go to a D 7, and then an A 7, and then E 7, and D 7, because that's the blues. We got I hit the wrong computer here. So it's like A, so. Now D, but in the same place. Now E, and D, and A, and back to A, D. So that's an A7. Now this is a D7 right here. And then up 1, that's an A7. And up 1 from there is E7. Then back to D. I'm going to show you this one right now. I'll break it down for you. So if you're in the key of A, and then 12-bar blues, I'm just assuming that you know 12-bar blues. If you don't, you can look into that, getting one learned. And so on your 8th fret on the B string, and on your 9th fret on the E string, that is the dominant 7th note, which is a G note of A, and it is the 3rd of A. So that's an A7th. It's part of an A7th chord. There's 4 notes in an A dominant 7th chord, and that's part of it. And then when you move it down a half step, so now on the B string, you're on the 7th fret, and you're on the E string on the 8th fret. And of course you move it back up another half step, you're back in A, so A dominant 7th note is on the 8th fret, B string, and the 9th fret, E string. And then when you move it up to the one more up a half step from there, now you're on your B string, and you can like watch this back, to get it if I'm going too fast, but I don't want to bore people that are don't have a guitar in their hand. But on the 9th fret now, on the B string, and that is a major 3rd of the E. And on the 10th fret on the E string, that's the dominant 7th of E. So A, D, and E. It sounds pretty crunchy, but when you put it to a rhythm, you can do like a Johnny Winter strum to it, like this. That's the D, A, up A, E, D, now A, E. So keeping the stuff tight voicings, like when piano players, what do? They don't go whoop, like we guitar players tend to go from here to here for chords, not always, but like if I'm playing an A right here, there's an E, there's a D located here, and there's an E located here in the same area. So that's what I'm doing with this. So, and you can do that, like if you're you can play your minor pentatonic scale, which everybody knows, and then land on these notes we just had. So it'd be like something like this. See what I mean? It's like you stand in tight there if you're playing single notes or chords, whatever you decide to do on that. You can get into some pretty cool sounds for the good old 12-bar blues. If you guys have been on here before, you know that I like to focus on chords. We learned a new Prince thing where I got a solo on. It's like a G and A major and then D, and then G and then A and B minor. So it's like I try to, like G is a to D, and then G you can go A and B minor. So that's each chord, just always playing with each chord. Let's see, some more people got on here. Nug Stir. Is that a real name? Nug Stir, huh? Cool name, whatever it is. Diane A. Grant. Oh, I guess he's got bad internet. Okay. Anyway, let me find another something here. I got a C minor blues. Let me see what's going on with this. We can do some other stuff. Some minor stuff. G minor, or no, F minor stuff. C minor. G minor 7th, F minor 7th, C minor 7th. That was a G augmented. And this one I just want to land on those notes in the chorus. So with this one, I'm going to look for stuff that's close in the C minor around those chords. So the chords we got going on are C minor 7, root flat 3, 5, flat 7, F minor 7, and G minor 7, which we can do here, and then a G augmented. That's what it sounds like to me anyway. I'm just hearing it right now, so I don't remember jamming to this one before. So, with this one, I always gravitate to the same scale everybody gravitates to, right? But so I'd look for a few key notes, like the C, there's that on the 10th fret on the D string, that's the root note for C, and then the minor third is on the 8th fret. So, and bending up from the 10th fret to the 12th. That's the third. So that's like a minor arpeggio. And then when we get to D, the two notes, you know, that I would focus on, and those two strings, just keeping that as a kind of a bass, would be the 10th fret D string and 10th fret G string. So that's going to be your D. And then for the E, I'd go, you can pull out of the scale and go to 7th fret on the G string and on the 8th fret on the D string. And then for the other chord, I would move on the D string, I would move it down. I'm going to play this so it'll make more sense. I would move the down the 7th fret on the G string, on the D string rather. So for C is, for D is, for E is, and for the augmented is just that one note. So just to focus on those as a simplicity. Now the I think I was saying those letter names before from the last key. So now back to C. Here's the E where you go. That's out of the scale too. Now we're going to the F. Those two, remember. Now back to the E. Now F. I keep saying E, it's not E, it's G. Again, I'll do it again. So C, F, C, F, back to C. Can't help myself. G, F, C, and G augmented. Now even though I'm playing more, I'm still focused on that. There's the F. We'll do it here. That note's in the F. Back to C. Minor arpeggio. Same thing in F. always loved blues. So bluesy. My favorite players always had that feel, and one of them is Eddie Van Halen, and I think he was more of a blues player than people even realize. Man, he really had the touch, over bending, and really a lot of liquidity, very liquid, sultry sound, but of course extreme precision. You know, spent many of my years staring at the needle on the record, dropping it down and hearing 3 or 4 notes of what he did. And, somebody asked me about my gear. I wanted to tell you, like with this guitar, which I probably mentioned before, this is a GMW guitar. My friend Lee Gardner. Lee Garver built this for me a few years back, and I have Gibson frets, 5100s, I think they are. Kind of Gibson size frets and a really flat neck, which is hand shaved like that. And then I can't tell you the radius. I'll ask my buddy Joe Primera what the radius is and get that to you. One knob, always one knob, because I just use the volume. I don't mess with the other stuff. And I put what is it called, treble bleed. So it's like, if I clean it up, it doesn't get bassy. So it's a capacitor thing that goes on it. Usually these pickups, exactly these, and a lot of guitars I have. JB double coil, hot stack, which is a double coil, but it's stacked up, and it's just it's my favorite Stratty tone. And same thing in the front, but they are different. I believe the back, the middle is, maybe the middle is the same as the front, but if you put a JB, one of these hot stacks in the back, it's a different design. Seymour Duncan's, always just love Seymour Duncan's. This bridge is a Jakey Lee bridge from the 80s. It's been chromed. It is Gibson spacing. It's tighter. It's like Les Paul spacing, so it's tighter than the Fender spacing. And a 5-way switch. I had this other weird configuration on it, but I just went to, that's the front one, that's these two, just a regular standard 5-way, so that's just the middle one. That's these two, and I do not split the back. You can do that. I don't want to split. I just want both of those. And then that's the back pickup. And he does this cool, it's called a Mason Bernard if you look at the cutaway in the back, so your hand can get up there. I just love this. I was talking to a friend of mine here in town who's a really great guitar player, Joey Rydell, and we were talking about Nuno Betancourt has this, he saw one of his things, he has this really trippy thing on his guitar that's like round, but I can feel it when I get on a regular guitar. I actually slam into the body because I'm so used to this, the way it's contoured out, Lee's kind of retiring, which is sad, but I'm glad I got him to do a few of these for me before before he did, But I absolutely love. This is my best playing guitar. There's no doubt about it. It's just my favorite one to play, and I got some other cool ones, but that's the rundown on this. And then I use a Kemper for everything, just because it works for me. But and having said that, my favorite tone is a Marshall 800, but it's from a company called, and that's not to, like, if you want to get a lot of tones, get Michael Britt stuff. And this other guy, Tone Factory, it's called, out of Nashville. Michael Britt, he's a friend, and I use a ton of his, but live in the band, the thing that gives me the one amp I use the most of is Amp Factory, and it's an 800 Marshall, but it was profiled in England, and I think that had something to do with it. That's this one. It's the 220. As far as the voltage. Now that's the it's set to the middle on my Kemper. I have 5 buttons, and what I do for when I set it, I just use the same amp, but it's like I'm turning up the gain, so there's more distortion. So if I'm on the first setting, It's, whoops, it's just a clean march. And if I go to the second button, it is just with, I have some flange on it, nothing special. I have a little bit of delay through my computer, Logic Audio. Then when I go to the third one, it adds a little bit more. So if I'm doing like Tom Petty stuff or, you know, I mean, it's still dirty, but it's not like crazy dirty. And then if I'm getting into where I need it, and that's just more gain. You get into more metal stuff in back. But with this setup, if I go to the front pickup with that amp, that's the same exact amount of distortion, so I get a lot of leadway. Like if I play Pride and Joy, I can use this tone. I wouldn't do the back. If I did the back pickup, ew. But if I use the front pickup with these. Front pickup. Same amp, same, you know, guitar, whatever, you know. So it gives me a lot of versatility having double, single. I recommend that to like new students whenever they're going to get a guitar. Say, you know, grab a good Fender Squier and replace it with Duncan's, and you know it'll be better than the Fender. I think it's better sounding than the Fender pickups. Just my 2 cents. Anyway, I don't know who has gone to ScottVanZinGuitarSchool.com and got the free training, but if you haven't, please do that. SVZGuitarSchool.com or ScottVanZinGuitarSchool.com. Big button, free training. Do that. There's free free training, and you know it'll get you to my streaming all-in deal if you want to do that. But there's also, if you're interested in blues, I have a couple of blues bundles. So if you go to the store, they're pretty cheap. One's $6, I think, or $7. One is like $10 or $20, something like that. And there's a lot of cool stuff. Some of my favorite blues stuff. Here's hey Keith from Texas. I just love this part of the internet where I get to hang out with people from all over. Mike Glass, my good buddy. Chris, it's not easy. It's just you got to just keep doing it. I'm an old dude now. Don't tell anybody. I've been at it a long time, but thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. Anthony, hello. Yes, Rocky asked, do you play with different scales, meaning different keys, while playing in this to make it sound so interesting? Yeah, I mean, you know, but if I have a 7th chord, you know, I'll play like a D major over an A7. So that's like you know, but then I'll land ultimately on the arpeggio. So it's like know. Now here's the, you know, B minor and B major. But you gotta really, you don't have to, but I have to land on the chords because that's where my favorite guys did that. Neil Schon, Stevie Ray Vaughan, even with his three and four chord songs, was like a genius of that. He's also another, I think next to Van Halen, he's the one who had the most impact on my playing, just a lot because of rhythm and how hard I have to dig in to try to sound like him. It's just nobody sounds like Stevie Ray. That guy really gave it everything he had. It was amazing. Hi Karen, Pete, hello. Let's see. Don't apologize, Don. Just do your scales. Aw, thanks, Gare. Nice of you to say. All right, nobody's really got any questions. You know, I tell people, get your questions together. You know, I love doing these hangs. I missed last week, and I'm sorry. I actually got some cool stuff going on. Love Conquered Records. I have a deal, and that's going to be, I'm coming out with an EP here pretty soon. And then we're working on a full record on top of that. It's not part of the EP, but that's some pretty bluesy, kind of a concept bluesy Pink Floyd, you know, EP. I like it. I really am proud of what they're doing. I got a new family because of it. John Hopen and Portia's there singing right now, and she just has this incredible voice that comes from heaven. And it's funny doing records now. I've never met her in person, but only online. We've talked on FaceTime. You know, like one day we'll get everybody together. And you know, if you're going to be in Vegas, you know, shoot me a message and make sure that you come and see Blue String Theory. You know, we're doing a lot of stuff. Great guys, great fun. Not one person has came there to just check, you know, hang out with me and not had a ball. I mean, we just knock out a massive set list from the 80s, one after another, and it's just a good time. Anybody? Okay, so Rocky said, so playing within modes then? Not really, Rocky. No, I play using I specifically, my approach has always been to each chord, whatever the chord. If something has a like Little Wing, okay, so there's a G, so I would go, and then A minor, so I'll focus on that A minor. Back to E. Now B minor 7. And that was a B minor 7, down to an A minor 7. And then a C. And then so if I was doing the next thing, it'd be a G, F, E, C, I'm sorry. So each chord, I focus on each chord, like, and that's just, and look for that, because that's how, you know, like like the Eagles, which is one of my favorite bands, their early stuff, you know, of course they haven't had really any new stuff, but the guitar parts are so signature. I mean, I remember seeing them live, and the whole crowd was doing this and and doing the melodies from the songs because they're just so hooky, you know. And you know, it's just like, get to the point with playing. I mean, everybody loves to shred, and I love to shred too. Sometimes I just like, you know, just like give me a. E. boom, shreddy. But if you're playing, melodically, a lot of times, why do we love guitar players? Because we know them, we've heard them. If Van Halen didn't have some songs and a way to present what they did, we would never know who they are. We wouldn't know Stevie Ray Vaughan except for he did Pride and Joy, which was a hit. Like you gotta you have to have songs, and you gotta play within songs. It's not just shredding, because there's incredible technicians, even great field players, but their focus is the shredding that we never hear of them. They're just amazing. Um, but I mean, like, I remember when first time I heard Neil Sean, and I'm like, wow, this guy's just in the pocket with these melodies. He just ends on the chords and stuff like that. And it would take a guy that good to be the guitar player next to Steve Perry. He's one of my favorites, still well into his 60s and has not slowed down a bit. Very inspiring. So get her done. So again, thanks, Mike. Mike's my buddy. We go back here on the internet. I appreciate you guys coming around. I'm going to wrap it up here. Like I said, please check out the free training, and please share it with other guitar players. Share it with 3 guitar players. I'm just going to flat out ask you. I want to get the word out because I'm really proud of my school and what I've done with my school and the teaching and the lessons and the videos. And I've had great reviews from them, and there's a great introduction thing up there to get you started. And there's like, if you're almost broke, there's stuff for you, and it's nothing's really that expensive. I mean, you can get all of it for $20 a month, access to all of it, and then programs are pretty cheap. So I try to make it available. I'd love to see more people with the 6-stringer in their hand and staring at their phone. So anyway, I appreciate you guys, and it's been fun hanging out. So I will see you, I believe, next Thursday. Yeah, around 5 o'clock. Sorry I was late today. I went to hit a button and ended up shutting everything down. I had to reboot everything. So, all right, guys. Remember, Scott Van Zen Guitar School. Get on there and get your free lesson, free training, and I will see you guys soon. God bless. See ya.